Welcome back to another episode of Hobby Time in the Murder Basement, the first episode of 2021. Congratulations, we made it. I think we all deserve cookies or something. Before we get into our interview with a fantastic painter, Twitch streamer, and all-around good guy, Brushforhire, who has made a full-time job out of commission miniature painting and content creation, he streams 48 hours a week. He streams the same way you and I just like get up and go to work. It is fascinating. Super cool dude. So glad to have talked to him. Before we get into that, real quick, I just wanted to let if you guys hadn't already heard, I'm no longer streaming exclusively on Twitch on Sundays. I'm now streaming both on Twitch and YouTube at 12 Central. Have a great time. Should come hang out sometime. I love meeting all the people in the community and talking. And sometimes we build mechs, sometimes we paint minis. Most of the time we just have a great time, though. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
I can't see anything you're painting. I said, you don't have to have the top gear set up like I do. I said, this is my investment is my living. Like I put everything into what I'm doing, everything. I've drained my entire life savings for this, and when I say that, I mean like $30,000.
Yeah.
And that includes buying this building, that includes everything.
Well, that was the thing that like really struck me when I can't even remember why I messaged you or so I was watching your stream and you're like, no, I bought this building for my art. Like this is my studio to do miniature painting. I was like, I need to talk to Sean. I have to, because if I don't, I'm going to be missing one of the things that gets me more motivated than anything is hanging out with like-minded individuals who are driven and believe in themselves and are willing to take the risk to do it and understand that that this is a business, this is the thing that they're doing, and not like I don't mind when people play, like be a tourist, that's totally cool, but like understand that you're going to get tourist results. Like if you want business, like think about it differently. And there was something that, in the way that you said it, I was just like, son of a, this is brilliant, this is beautiful. And I was instantly hooked to your point of view, and have spent a lot of time because of that.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's one thing I attribute to like my growth. And that's like, and it's funny because I just sent a picture in chat there of my new setup that I'm building in the other room, because this room I'm in is 10 foot by 10 foot right now, and this was just the easiest room I had. I said because like I was like last year, like December, I said January 1st I'm going to be streaming Twitch, because I kept putting it off because I was scared as hell. Like I did not know what it was. I didn't know how to do it. I still don't know how to do it. I'm fumbling through this shit.
So and you've only been streaming for a year?
Yep, that's it. I started January 2nd, 2020.
Oh shit, that's impressive.
I said yeah, so I'm almost at 4,000 followers. So I'm averaging somewhere around 90 viewers a day average.
Yeah.
Like concurrent viewers, I have an average of somewhere between, it varies. There's days I have 1,200 unique viewers. There's days I have like 700 unique viewers. It just kind of depends on the day. Like today was a Wednesday, which is usually my slowest day, and I had almost 900. And I was actually shocked by that.
I think a lot of
it's one of the things of
break from today.
oh man. Yeah. It's like 2020 is just like, I'm clinging on. I'm hanging on, man. It's like I'm kicking and screaming and dragging along, and it's like you're driving away, and it's on the back bumper, going, like freaking Terminator 2.
I've got you.
It's like, you can't get rid of me. It's like, oh, please, no more.
For the love of God. Well, I mean, so have you always streamed from? Like you start at like 7 o'clock your time, go like 5 or 6. Like, has it always been that long?
7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Yep. Yeah, I said I'm treating it like a full-time job from the first day I streamed. People are like, "How do you do?" It's like, look, I've been painting for a long time, so I'm doing exactly what I was doing before, just with a camera in front of me.
So, were you a commission miniature painter before as your full time gig, or is this something that even that was like new? 20.
No, no, I was a commission painter. I've been painting for about 23 years, and I've done commission on and off, sometimes way more. I took a small break hiatus from painting altogether to like rethink, regroup, and reapproach it and figure out why I hated it, because I had actually burned out at one point in time. Because I've always had, like, anytime I put myself out for commission work, I've always had an endless stream of it. Like, I've never not had it when I ask for it, basically. And I don't know how else to word that,
Sure.
but like I burnt out on it because I was getting work I didn't like. Like, it was always there, but it wasn't anything I had fun painting, and it was just very the same stuff over and over and over again. And I began hating painting altogether. And I there was a point in time I probably went 10 years of painting miniatures that I didn't paint a single thing for myself that I wanted to paint at all, like anything,
That's not good.
you know.
That's not good.
And no, no, and I didn't understand that. And that was one of those things where it was one of the things I fell into where I just kind of have been doing it so long, because I've been doing commission work since I was like 17 years old, maybe 16 years old. And yeah, I started doing commission work 6 months after I started painting miniatures. Like, it wasn't like I had an art background. There was something about it that clicked, that I was able to do this tabletop quality. And I had a really awesome shop owner of Toy Soldier Gallery who saw my potential, hired me immediately, and like worked with me of how to like get those dynamic paint jobs that people see from across the room and just like boom in your face, and people want it and they want what you do. And there was a lot of that went on that was really helpful about that. And then I plateaued because 20 some years ago there wasn't all these classes we have now. There wasn't art theory like there is now. And I don't have an art geared brain, like, at all. Like, I have no art background, like, no one has natural artistic ability. Some people have a better color or better eye for colors, but just because you're good at picking colors doesn't mean you have natural artistic ability. It just sometimes it clicks easier with people, but they don't understand the why we do what we do.
Sure.
Um, Mine was just plowing away at it because, like, I was going to college for like advanced chemistry, advanced mathematics. Like, I was going for all these, like, I was going for like three different majors at the same time because I was just told I was supposed to. I was smart. I was supposed to do that. That's what I was told I should do.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's what I should do. But like, it didn't mean it. I got bored of it, so I quit and I left. And, art had always been a passion for me because it was hard. I like being challenged and pushed, and things that are not easy. Math, chemistry, physics, that stuff was easy to me. Like, I didn't put any effort. And I'm not going, "Oh, I'm so smart." It came very natural because I have that kind of mind that, like, it works for me.
Sure.
And art was like this mystical thing that I could not break down in any kind of easy formula, and people were not teaching it in a way that would make sense to me. So for me, it was just a lot of years of plowing away at it, trial and error, and figuring it out. And that's why I teach the way I do, because I'm not the only one.
I think
Because miniatures are an interesting art form.
most miniature people are,
Yeah.
seduced by these little tiny pieces of plastic, but I don't think anybody, like, very few of us come from the art background. Did you do any like music or anything like that? Did you have that creative outlet, or were you?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's impressive.
No, no, nope, no. I was not that guy. I didn't do sports. I was like in front of a computer, like nerdy as hell, nerdy shit to max. I'm sorry. Where's our language fall in this interview?
You can say whatever the hell you want.
Caca poo poo pee pee.
That's right.
There
There
we
you go.
I'm an adult. Yeah,
Well,
it's like, yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's
I'm an adult.
I'm so glad to like hear that, because like I am, I didn't have any art. My brother was very much more visually artistic than I was.
Mhm.
I think I probably have like undiagnosed dyslexia, because when it started coming down to
I
like
do.
doing anything with yeah, my handwriting is just and I can't. I love writing and then going back and trying to decipher it later. I have
Oh
no
my
idea what
gosh.
I'm doing now.
It's like, what drunk toddler wrote this on my paper? It's like, oh yeah, I'm the drunk toddler.
Right. Well, and
That they
everybody's like,
that
"You
they
should be a doctor," and I sit there and I'm like,
Oh my
"You don't
gosh.
actually like." That's kind of a dick thing to say to somebody who also can't
Mm.
learn very easily and be like, "Oh, okay, do the hardest profession out there too, just because you have shitty handwriting." Thanks.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. I was at the bank once and I signed my name. The teller looked at me and went, "Do it correctly." I went, "There you go."
Son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
I was like,
Sassy.
yeah, yeah, she was. It was so funny too because she was absolutely right. I scribble because I was a manager for like 14, 15 years, and
Mhm.
I signed probably at least 30 pieces of paper every day, at
Sure.
least. And it was like, because you got to sign off on everything that goes through there, every bill, everything. And you just kind of get this thing where it's like, this is a scribble. Like, there you go. That's my signature there.
Yeah.
And they just get used to it down at the office. The WIP manager just wrote a squiggly across the paper because it's just like, I'm not writing my full name 5,000 times a week. It's just not happening.
Yeah. Well, and as long as like an S is like, you just like the first
Yeah,
letter and then the rest is a scribble, like
pretty
everybody
much.
always blamed me for like because my signature's it's an H and an A and a bunch of scribbles and
Yeah,
oh you're a rock star and I'm like, maybe I don't
sure.
know like you don't know.
Yeah. 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 What do you care? Like,
uh
my gosh. Yeah. People want to critique everything.
yeah, well, and like and it's so like hard when you're like self-conscious about it too. Just like
Yeah.
just don't look at it, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. See, like I stopped caring a long time ago because it was like I was like severely bullied like all of my life, like all of my life. I was just severely bullied, and I reached this point where I just I'm not. I no longer give a fuck. Like I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I said, I reached this point in my life that's really helped me where I said, you know what? No matter what I've done, because I went to a whole bunch of different schools, moved a lot, like growing up and stuff like that. And like when you can't fit in one school and you can't figure it out, and then you go to a new school and it's a whole new set of rules to try and fit in by. And I said, you know what? I'm over this. I said, I'm going to get bullied no matter what I do. So I might as well have a good time and amuse myself. And that's kind of what I did. And I've been doing it ever since. And now I do it on Twitch and people tune in and watch and go, why are you all here? Like, I'm glad you're here. But it's like because I do get a lot of questions about it because my growth has been astronomical. Like I've been very blessed. And to go from like 0 followers to like I ended the year just under 3,800 followers.
Wow.
I got partner in under 11 months. Like and like these numbers are just like people are like, wait, what? Like how? Like I show up, I do my thing in front of the camera. Like I turn on the camera, I just am here. I do my thing, and I did it because like the whole partner thing was just like I wanted that. Like I want because when I started streaming in January 2020, I did not know what affiliate was. I did not know what a partner was. I didn't know about emotes. I didn't know anything about Twitch at all, like at all. Like I'd seen like 2, 3 streams at most from other people. And like I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this as just a way for me to get my images to the screen. Like that's as far as I went with it. Like Useless Wizard is the only reason I even know how to stream at all because I was talking to him. I did an interview with him before I did any of this stuff, and he was talking about OBS. I'm like, "What's OBS?" He goes, "You kind of need something like this to stream." I'm like, "I don't just log on to Twitch and make pictures happen." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh." So after the interview, he took some time, sat there, and went through everything with me. I'm like, "Okay, okay." Like and I kind of like and like that first day, it was like I turned it on. I turned on the computers, got the image there. Like I was like, I'll figure everything else out along the way.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know alerts. I didn't know like anything. And that's like I wanted, and then once I found out and started learning, like, oh, this would be cool to get these kind of things and stuff like that. And, strive for that partner thing. And I remember people were like, oh, you're going to get rejected a whole bunch. It always happens. And, so I was prepared to get rejected at least 3 times because that seems to be kind of the minimum standard,
Right.
and you wait 6 weeks to hear your no and stuff. And that's like when I applied, I didn't tell anyone but my mods. Like they
Right.
were the only people I knew because I didn't want to make a big deal of it and then get disappointed because you see all these people rally, get excited, and they drop off because they're all bummed it didn't happen. And then you got to like rally them back up. And I didn't want that. Like I'm an emotional roller coaster kind of guy. Like I won't, like from the time I put the application in, I don't sleep, you know? And then two weeks later, I got a yes from them the first try. I was like, are you kidding me? Like I cried. Like I didn't know what to do with that. Like it still feels completely surreal because it's just like, it's just insane. But like for me, it's like exciting because it's an opportunity to reach more people, to help others grow because I'm so about the community. That's the most exciting part for me is the community because I'm going to do my work. I have my work. It's the community and the growth and watching people come together and it's like jumbled mess of just really positive, awesome people.
Well, and you are like one of the most patient people too. Like you can take a literal shit sandwich of a stream and somehow make it like really like amazing. Like I've gone back and watched. I think out of everybody's streams, I've watched more of your VODs just because like, dude,
Oh
did you see
wow.
what happened with Brush today? And I'm like, no, I was working, and they're like go check out Brush's VOD, and I've sat there and I've watched you know 10, 15 hours of your VODs, and I just don't watch VODs because if I can't sit there and scream in the keyboard back at you, like
Yeah.
it's not as fun. But like you have this amazing, patience and your temperament is just it's so fascinating to watch how you handle everything. Uh,
Thanks,
I'm
man.
always floored at just like how almost effortless it seems, even when you're exacerbated. You're just kind of like, this is what we're doing. This is what I signed it up for, and
Hmm.
it's interesting because you found yourself to be like you're the miniature painter's Dr. Phil, whether you want it or not.
Yeah, it's been real interesting. Like it's like I don't know how to like even wrap my brain around a lot of this too because it's like a lot of what's happened in my stream, like these issues have been talked about, these things have come up, and seeing where I started this just wanting to paint miniatures to show my clients as a way to get work, to show the work as like new angle. Like, hey, you can hire me and you can see me paint in real time because I do it full time all the time. You can watch the VODs, like as I was figuring this stuff out. And it turned into a whole different kind of monster where it became this thing of like COVID happened, people were stuck at home, you know, people are like, I work from home all day. It's like having a coworker who's a completely awesome person, like having a good friend that I get to work with all day, every day.
Yeah.
And then turn people because I tend to be very real. Like I'm on here 9.5 hours at a clip. Like I'm not putting on a show. Like I have no time for that. I have no time. Like I haven't done that in years because I just don't care.
Right.
Like life is too short. There's too many fake people. Like I'm a polarizing person. I know this. Like I know that I have people that are just like, I just don't like them. And I'm okay with that. Like I'd rather people, I've always had a saying that I've always said is I'd rather people hate me for who I am than like me for something I'm not.
Sure.
And when you put on a show and dog and pony dance, and don't get me wrong, people who have an hour and a half stream that have like a character they do and stuff like that, that's fine. I have no issue with that. It's entertainment. But for me, I can't remember what the hell is going on.
Right.
Like I can barely remember what I'm doing, and if it's 5 seconds half the time, let alone what fantasy person I'm supposed to be. And in turn, because I've been through a lot of shit, and it's not like my life has been totally terrible, and it's like oh this and that, but like I've been bullied a lot, I've been down those paths, I've been a total raging asshole to people. Um, Nearly lost my wife in a marriage and everything because of who I was and things I did, and I've already been given more grace and mercy and forgiveness than I ever deserve as a human being. So I'm going to give it to other people because I needed it. That's what I needed was grace and mercy and forgiveness, not being told don't do that. I already knew I wasn't supposed to do the stuff that I did. I already knew I wasn't supposed to treat people like I was treating them. I wasn't supposed to be an asshole and an arrogant prick and intolerable and insufferable and treat people like they were less than me. And like I was already told, like I knew that, but it didn't help me being told not to do that. What helped me was someone being patient, someone being kind, someone giving me another chance, and realizing I'm broken as hell.
Yeah.
And when I realized I'm broken as hell, guess what? We're all broken. And the only person I can worry about controlling and trying to fix is myself, and how I treat everyone else, how I show that to other people. And, I've been down these paths, I've been down that road, and I know what helped me and what other people really need. And some people don't want help, some people are not going to want it, and that's fine. But I'd rather say at the end of the day, I got taken advantage of, or shit on a bit trying to help someone than just turn someone away who just needed someone to say, I'm here for you and I will help you and I will tolerate you for a bit. And, that's what people need more than anything else. And I do have my limits. I ban people from my stream
Sure.
where I talk, and when it starts becoming, when they're disruptive to me, I'll deal with that. This is the way I was as a manager too. I will take that customer mother effing me and calling me names and being a child, basically. I'm the manager, but I would not tolerate that from my guys at all. I would walk out, I would hang the phone up on them. If I heard that through speakerphone, I would tell them to put them through me, or I would lay in people and tell them to get the hell off the property. And I do not care if you go tell my boss about that, because I will gladly tell him what I did, because I will not tolerate this, you know? And I'm the same way in my stream. I will tolerate it, but the second you become disruptive to my viewers, the second you get rude, ignorant, inappropriate, like that's it. That's the line. Like you're done. Like we can be civil, we can disagree about things, we can go back, but like that's it. And there's been a number of situations over the year that's happened. And it's been very cool because like the people that have come to me, like either during the stream, after stream, and private messages that are like, I want to be a better man because I see how you are. And I want to be a better person. And I am a better person because of you, because I see how you handle situations. And I realize I don't have to flip out and snap out. And I've watched their streams and watched them change and watched that, like when crap goes wrong in their stream, like I watched them handle a situation and went, wow, like I was so impressed,
Yeah.
so impressed at the way he handled it. He goes, dude, that's because I've seen the way you do it. I'm going, like, and to me, the fact that I've been able to have that kind of impact on people and lives, and like I had someone in my stream, like I'm not gonna get into names, all that stuff, but like the situation that you talk about with zombies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where that person was in my stream and he was in there, he goes, man, I've been mending bridges all year. He goes, I was way out of line. He goes, I was totally wrong. He goes, what I did was wrong. It was inappropriate. It was uncalled for. He goes, I don't know what I was thinking. He goes, but because you're the only person that took the time to talk to me and show me mercy, he goes, I want to be, and it's just like, it broke me, dude. Like I just cried and cried. And that day they broke me hard on stream. I cried
Yeah.
ugly, man. Like it
Oh,
was
man.
like just the number of people that were like, this stuff, and like you said, it's cool. Like, and I'm not setting out to be anyone's therapist. I'm not qualified for that. All I can talk about is what I've been through, what I've done. And, and that's the thing I want to be very careful, because I see a lot of people are like, oh, let's, it's like, no, I'm not here to diagnose. And so all I can do is talk about the stuff that I've been through, the stuff that my wife's been through, what we've been through together, and how we've gotten help, and encourage people to get help. That's all I can do, because for me, people will always be first, because there's enough crappiness in the world,
Yeah, being able to like, the internet's so quick to cancel like anybody for any
Oh man.
reason, any road of
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
you offer a road of redemption for people. Well, like those people, they like publicly will be able to like have like a step back into the world, like they know and understand, like they're not totally canceled either, which is nice, because like you
Yeah.
can be really firm and supportive, but also like, hey, you fucked up, and like,
Hmm.
well, these people, they may never forgive you, and I'm like, I'm all about the road of redemption, but I'm also
Hmm.
like never asking to get forgiven either, because
Yeah.
I don't believe, I don't
Yeah. There's a
compulsively
difference.
forget. you know
Yeah. And for me, I forgive because otherwise I let them in my brain space, and then it becomes, they get free rent, and then it consumes me. For me, forgiveness is for me, not for them. because there's people that I forgive that don't even want forgiveness, and that's fine. Like that's why I forgive, because I know how I get, where I can become consumed so easy with people. I used to be very much like that, where I was just so like, oh, this person deserves this. This bullshit. Look at them getting ahead in life, and they deserve to get hit by a car, and I'm going to go flatten their tires. And like I became, and it would ruin me. Like it would just ruin me. I'd be awake for nights on end, just ruminating about someone who didn't even think about me at all, not once.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
I very much the same. Like,
yeah,
you know,
and it's easy to get that way.
and you can just be so like monofocused into like vengeance, and
Hmm.
you know, I've done some horrible shit to people who got on my shit list, and like, and like I took it like like way too far, and like there's no fixing that, you know, and I don't
Yeah,
ever like I don't ever expect them. I mean, you know, we're 20 years out now, so like young Heath, you
yeah,
know, they're not going to hold it against me. You know, I wouldn't did. I fucked
yeah,
up bad. That was just me. And
hmm,
like, you know, it's interesting, you know, the older I get, the less I want to be, less I would just want to be mad, you know. I want people
yeah,
like, you know, like my stream's interesting cuz it sometimes turns into like a fucking Narcotics Anonymous, like you
yeah,
know, because like almost all of the people that have been through, you know, are in my stream are like in some aspect of recovery. You know, they aren't instantly like an NA or a program. Like they are stopping.
hmm,
We talk about that really honestly, and that's you know, it gets really hard because so many of these people just don't think that they have the value. So
yeah,
when someone like you talks to these people who are, you know, obviously like broken and really
yeah,
bad place, and you give them value, like it was the reason why I decided to do the mental health video that I did, because of the whole thing with, you know, beanies, and you know,
hmm,
you got unfairly put in the middle of it, but you did this thing that instead of just being like fuck you, I'm going to light you on fire, you know,
yeah.
you sacrificed yourself, team, and you did something really even brilliant publicly. Like it was really cool to be able to see you navigate that. And you know, recently I've talked to that person, and you know, he said that like if it wasn't for you, like he doesn't know if he'd still be here right now. You were the thing that helped him realize like where he was at, and that's really impactful. It's like you never
It
want
is, man.
you never want to be that person to someone, but if you can, like like can give that somebody that olive branch,
Yeah.
get them over this thing that they're damaging themselves on. It's amazing.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, and like one of the things I said is having someone like that who said, "Look, I was on the wrong side of the argument, and I see where I was wrong." That person will always be more powerful to help sway people into the positive side of the argument than just someone going, "You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong," who's
Right.
already on the positive side. And that's the thing too, is because I've been on both sides. I've been that person that like was super shitty and stuff like that. And the thing is the easy thing to do in that situation was to, like you said, light him on fire, look like a hero and a badass for sticking up for the other person. And to me, it was like they're both people. They're both have value. Even now, I can't force anyone to change their mind. I can't force anyone to make the right decisions. I can't, do anything. And and that's why for me, over the past 4 years, oh, yeah, past 4 years, over the past year,
It feels like 4 years.
like as many people as come through my stream. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I crammed a lot of streaming in. And it's one of those things of like, I've only had to ban 4 actual people the entire time. And for
Wow.
as many people come through there, it is absolutely impressive. And the funny thing is like I was actually like I can call each one. And the one I unbanned and gave him another chance and he blew it immediately. And I knew I want to say I knew he was going to, but I
Son of a
pretty much was
bitch.
sure he was going to. But I said, guys, but the tone of his message privately was totally different than the tone of the messages in the stream. And he's like, his story made sense. This little brother got in his account and had been acting like a child. And okay, that's exactly, well, he got right back in here and started doing it again. So I was like, nope, you're done. That's it. Like he had like, I think 2 text messages in and then he was done. I had one kid he was like, I don't even know why he followed me, but he followed me, proceeded to just like tap dance on the keyboard line after line up, just posting garbage. I banned him. Like he was in chat 1 minute and I banned him. I'm like, I'm not even talking. Like I love trolls. I love people messing with. Pretty much being a best troll is how you become a mod in my stream. Like, oh man, you're trolling the hell out of me. This is hilarious. Mod. They're like, what? I'm like, yep, no, that's how this works. Like you make me laugh.
Yep.
You're not being an asshole. Let's
Buckle
do this
up.
thing.
You're in it now.
And, yep. Now you're responsible for everyone else. And it's like my wife is my biggest troll. Like she's a long game troll. Like she'll put 6-7 months into a troll. Like you have no, like she's terrifying.
Nice.
And yeah, like she's like a hero of the stream through and through. Like she was my first troll. Like when I was streaming, it was like 2 weeks in, and like she would show up and just like start giving me shit. Like just it was like that borderline stuff. We were kind of like, okay, this person's just kind of out of touch. And she goes, honestly, I thought you knew it was me. Like, no, I had no idea. She goes, you were trying to be all nice and stuff. Like, I know, like, I'm just like, nobody's talking to me. You're here. You're the only person I got to talk to. And she is like railing on my music choices and just asking questions that were just like, okay, like what? And it took me way longer to put 2 and 2 together that it was her, because she wasn't even trying to hide it. Just she made an account, didn't tell me she made an account on Twitch. And now it's like every time someone comes in, it's like, is this you? Are you doing this? Or do I need to ban this person? She goes, no, that's not me. That person's an asshole. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But like, so there was those 2 people. The guy that gave me crap about having painted nails, like I wasn't going to even ban him. Like I was just like, okay, this guy's one of the, I was just going to leave it go, because man, my mods are like guard dogs. Like they have no tolerance, because that level of positivity, encouragement and stuff, man, it was like boom, boom, like that. Like he had like, he mouthed off like 3, not even like, it was so quick. Like I looked up and it was like all gone. I'm like, what just happened? And like, yeah, no, we have no tolerance for him. And I went, this guy's going to go in someone else's stream and bitch and cry about it. And without fail, he did to someone I multi-stream with, and then continues to do it and stream to stream to stream. And it's like one of those things of like, there's just like, and being a manager has been really cool, because I've been able to read through people's bullshit. Like that's one thing as a manager I had to get really good at, is read personality types, read through the nonsense, be able to ask questions to get the truthful answers I know I need without them realizing what I'm actually asking them.
Yeah.
Where you got to ask questions that people will snap answer and go, oh, I had to get real good at that kind of stuff, and not ask accusatory questions either. Because if you go, why did you screw this up? You immediately put people in a defense.
Right.
And that's why I always told my guys when I train them, I said, if I'm coming to you about something that went wrong, I'm asking you for a couple of reasons. Either were you not trained it? Did I not teach it properly or misunderstand it? Or did you have a brain fart?
Yeah.
I said, because either way, I need to make sure it's getting done properly. I don't care that it happened. But, if I ask you why you made a choice and you go, that means you guessed and now I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I said, there's a difference between a mistake and negligence. Negligence is where you keep doing the same thing again and again and don't care. If you can tell me like, even if you go, I brain farted out on this one, that's fine. It happens. I do it. I'm the worst offender of it. I do a lot of work all day. I'm going to brain fart all over the place.
All the time. Yeah.
And that's why with these mods, and I just banned someone the other day in my stream, and he was someone that was in my stream for like a good part of the year. Like he was a long-time viewer, And I don't mean just like following. I mean like a lot of hours watched, and it was just this constant thing that got to the point that it came to arrears, and it's just like, it's a shame that it happened, And I tried, and it's just like, and I'm not looking to cause drama or anything like that, but it's just like one thing. But it's only been 4 people all year, and people are like, "That's it." I'm like, "That's it." It's either people step in line or they get bored because they can't piss me off because of my demeanor. Because most trolls just want to get a rise out of you.
Yeah.
And when I go, "Oh, hold on, let me tell," trolls love this. That when they come in and go, "Oh, hold on, let me tweak your." If you would have did this as your troll, it would have worked a lot better and probably been a lot funnier. And like nothing makes trolls more angry than that. That when I'm laughing, correcting how they could have trolled me better, and critiquing and rating and grading it, they just leave. Like, because it's not getting anything they want out of it, because they're usually miserable and they just want everybody else to be miserable. And that one, he would come in, and the first joke he did for the day, I didn't see it coming. And I was like, okay, that was pretty good. And then he kept doing it. So I knew he already set the first one up. I knew where he was going. So I would deliver the punchline for every single troll that he was getting ready to do. And then eventually it was like, was that it? are you still there? Was that the punchline? Was it
Yeah.
good? Or was my punchline better than what you had anyways? And he just stopped responding and just laughed. Like, cause it was like, it went on because like, there wasn't even much going on. I was bored anyways. And he was entertaining me.
Right.
And like,
Well, and that's a funny
stuff
thing
like
about
that's hilarious.
well that back and forth relationship is one of the best parts of streaming, especially while painting, while you're like you're
Oh
literally
yeah.
asking your viewers to watch paint dry. Like that is what's happening right.
Yeah.
And when I think about the mechanics of us as artists like streaming that we're painting, I'm like, you guys, I hope you're doing something other than just being glued to the TV, because
Yeah.
literally like come back in a half hour, it'll be totally different. But like the people who are engaged in chat, I mean, that's the thing that keeps like the brain like nice and
Oh
sharp.
yeah.
But it's really interesting because like I don't know if I've never had anybody cross line. Haven't even backed by bots and stuff yet. And that's the really interesting thing. I know so many people who, like had tons of problems. Like I don't know if it is the
Yeah.
tone of your stream. Like I'm kind of under the belief that like you dictate the way that people interact with you on stream. Like, and so if you're playful with, they'll play back, but like because
Hmm.
text is there, like there is this abstraction where you and so that can be difficult. But it's really interesting to think about, like I've been streaming for almost a year now as well, and like I haven't banned anybody. I'm not gonna sit there and vacate anybody either, like because
Yeah.
they either know if they like me or if they don't. They get
Yeah.
bored pretty quick. They move on, and I'm like, that's totally fine with me.
And that's what I tell people. Like, you will find your tribe. Stay true to yourself. Do your things. I see so many people that are like, "Oh, I tried this and I didn't get any viewers. So I'm going to try this and I didn't get viewers." And I always use this analogy of this pizza place that was across the street from my one work. They opened up. They had a pizza sauce. I liked it. Other guys didn't, so people didn't buy it. Well, then he changed his sauce. Guess what happened? I didn't like the new sauce, so I stopped buying. And I remember talking to him. I goes, "I don't get it. I keep changing sauce." And I said, "Buddy, it's like." People who tried it the first time and didn't like your sauce, they're not coming back to try it again.
No.
The people who did like your sauce, you've now changed it, so they're not coming back. I said, so you've already isolated two groups of people. So all you're going to have to hope on is a third random group of people come in and tried your pizza for the first time that never had it first. I
Right.
said, pick something and stick with it. And that's why I tell the same thing with streaming. Paint, not me. I do art all day. Like I'm an artist. That's my first and foremost. I happen to paint miniatures as my primary medium, but I do canvas work. I do sketching. And I'm not great at some of these things, but I will try anything because I show people this is how I work through a new medium. This is how I work through things I'm not familiar with. Like I stream with Arta Bianca and Tainted Eagle, her husband Tim, and we'll do a multi streams where we challenge ourselves to do stupid stuff in mediums we don't work with. And we're three professional full-time artists for a living who are just like fumbling our way through stuff. And it is hysterical. It is funny. It is weird. And we always learn something and go, that was actually pretty cool. And it's like, and I think people really appreciate that seeing because a lot of people are like, that you've really just inspired me to try stuff. I'm like, perfect. That's all it's about.
Right.
Just enjoy what you're doing. It's not about awards. It's not about having to be the best. I said, every paint job you see in here is not going to be the best paint job ever. A lot of it's going to be kind of, but I enjoy it. I do it. I complete it. I go, what did I learn here? And move on to the next thing.
I
That's
think
all we can
that's
do sometimes. And
yeah, that's the healthy learning,
mhm.
especially every day that they out doing it. So when you started doing minis, were you a gamer first and then found yourself getting into it, or is just like
Never gamed.
never gamed, still never gamed, or is
Yeah.
that something?
Well, kinda. I have played one half a game of Age of Sigmar with somebody else's army at Nova Open, which was just kind of like a goof off, who cares what's going on kind of thing.
Sure.
And then I had, when I was going, okay, maybe I will play this. I had like, it's funny because I was known as a painter. I show up with a completely unpainted army that's not half the miniatures aren't even glued to the bases. And I'm throwing them on a table going, what do I do now?
Yeah.
I went, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is not fun for me. I don't get it. Like, I love being around it. I have buddies that are Warhammer heroes, they're TOs. I help out. I love being in an atmosphere. I love being around it. I love the judging. I love the painting. But like the art is what drives me. The gaming does not. Like it's just a whole nother thing that I have to learn, get involved with, and stuff like that. And kind of what happened was I walked into my now wife and myself were dating. We were at like this little town thing near us. It's like the closest gaming shop to us. I happened to walk past it. They had a dragon in the window, and this was like 23 years ago. I was like, I want that. Walked in, it was like $500. I was like 16, and I'm $500.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, and I'm a person like I want to know. I'm inquisitive. I said, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but where's that price come from? Like, what is it? Because I was used to like going into the mall and buying a dragon figure for like 30, $40 or something like that. Like some cheap statue at Spencer's where they had 50 of them sitting on the shelf. And she spent, it was like
broken.
It was a,
every single one of them was.
Oh, yeah. You gotta go, they were just chucking them from across the room. It's like, yeah, we put them on a shelf. And the manager's going, good shot. That's hilarious. You
nailed it.
Does anyone even work here? You know, it's like, okay, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And she explained to me it was limited edition. It was huge. It was an old I think it was Larry Elmore Golden Dragon, super limited edition, like beautiful piece, hand painted. I was like, she goes, we have dragons. You know, she goes, we have miniatures you can buy and paint yourself. I said, perfect. I was used to model cars and stuff like that. I'm like, perfect. I'll figure this out. I had no idea I was getting into, no art background. I think other than like grade school, I'd never even used paints like in an art sense at all. You know, like finger painting maybe, but like never any actual like art of painting whatsoever. No blending, nothing.
Yeah.
So I spent like $36 is all I had on me, or I think is what it was. I bought 2 Royal Partha Dragons and was it 2 Royal Partha Dragons and like 5 or 6 Citadel paints. And that was it. That was all money. It was like yellow, white, black, red, blue, and I think maybe green. I think it was all the paints, like no primer, no nothing. Like I didn't know anything, you know. And it's so funny because I still have both those miniatures. I have the very first miniature, one of those dragons I painted. That was the first miniature I ever painted. I still have it exactly how I painted it. I bought a new one of it so I can paint it now how I would paint it now and have a comparison from 23 years ago to now. And then I have the other dragon, which is actually sitting on my desk right here. This like little blue blob in the corner here.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually just painting it today because someone again was like, what's it going to take to get you to paint that? I was like, why is everyone so interested? Because you've owned it for 23 years and have never painted it. Like, we want to see you paint this thing. They said, that's insane. How have you had a miniature for 23 years? You've never painted. I'm like, I just have. I've always kept it. I haven't sold it. Like it's like they were saying like they were finding it on because everyone's trying to find it now on eBay. Like that thing's like $80. I'm like, yeah. I was like the other one was more expensive. It's like half the size. It's just super hard to get. And but I was like, yeah, let's just paint this thing. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to pick some colors I like and we're going to put them on there and see what happens, you know? And it's funny, people going, and it's funny because people would duck out and people who aren't used to how fast I can paint, they go, I left to go vacuum the floor and get a sandwich and that thing is almost done. Like it's like an hour. I'm like, I said, yeah. I was like, I said, 23 years of experience. What do you want? You know, it's like, this is what I do for a living. I have to be fast. Now, is it like take it to Capital Palette and hopefully I meddle with it? No, not at all.
Yeah.
But you don't have to paint like that. You could paint just to have fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah.
So what is your sort of, I mean, what do you try to get people to do when it comes to paint? Like, are you trying to get people to push them to their fitness limit? Or are you just trying to get people to put paint on? Because those are two very different things. And so many people get like, you know, a lot of people have that like mentality of being the perfectionist, of which like I actually kind of like, and my hot take is I actually don't think a lot of people are as perfectionists as they say that they are. Decision paralysis is more apt to what's going on because like you're like, if you were a perfectionist, it would bleed into a lot of places of your lives, not just your hobby. But what I think you don't have is the confidence to execute whatever is going on. And so it's always hard to like my thing is just like put paint on the model. Yeah. Like if the jacket is going to be red, paint it red. Like start there. Like if you know that this is red,
do something.
Do this.
Yeah, I try to like simplify painting for people too, because the problem is a lot of people don't get to see what I do. Like you get to see the tutorial. You look on YouTube, here's a how to paint video of non-metal metallic. We're going to rip through this miniature. It's going to be like a 15-minute video. Okay, no one did that miniature. I paint fast. No one paints like that in 15 minutes, and obviously they're not pretending like they do, but you don't get I remember like the one, I do a monthly paint along on here where we buy miniature. Anyone can buy it. You don't have to buy the same thing, but we go over a certain topic. This one coming up is on Monday is monochromatic painting. How do we paint a miniature monochromatically? What paint should I buy? It doesn't matter what paints. Like you don't have to use the paints I do. I'm going to teach you the theory. So if you want to use nothing but blues, you can use blues. If you want to use nothing but blacks and whites, you can do that. If you want to use nothing but pinks, I said, we're going to go over the theory so you can take whatever I'm going to teach you and apply it to any miniature. Because we talk about this a lot so we even touched a little is that a lot of people that get into this are not artistically background. They go, I like this little miniature or I want to play this game. And that's why I say to people, what do you want out of it? Do you want to compete? Do you want to have world-class paint drops? Or you just want to get paint on a model to get some miniatures painted on a table so you can just play and have fun? Because like my one client, he goes, if a miniature breaks, he goes, I throw it away. He goes, I do not touch models. I do not fix them. I do not paint them. I do not work with them.
Oh.
Like, dude, I kid you not. Like he sent me a picture. He's throwing garbage cans of miniatures away that he's got a commission because he's moving and doesn't want to deal with them. And people go, I get that. But that's not my decision. Like I get that, but that he has that money. He doesn't care. And he's talked about it in my chat. Like, he's like, and he's very open about it. Like he's very, very open about it. He goes, look, I make a ton of money. That's why I pay him to do this because I do not care, but like he has me doing like unique projects. Like the one commission is 1,500 miniatures. That's just one of his armies. He wants every option for the table possible. Like every option, it's insane. Like it just keeps growing, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But like he goes, I don't care if this takes years. He goes, I want what you do. I want you to do it right.
You're like, so everyone has minis, it's gonna take years. Just so you know.
Yeah. Well, I've actually hit a year. I actually started his project when I started streaming last year. Is when I first started his work, and I should finish it this year. There's no reason I shouldn't unless he keeps adding. It went from like 1,000 to 1,200. We're about 1,500 miniatures right now.
Wow.
And, and he's a totally awesome guy. He's very down to earth, but he's very realistic in what he does and stuff like that. He goes, I'd rather work and do that, pay him to paint this and play the game. Because I want to play. I don't want to paint. He goes, I tried that years ago and I made it determined I never want to paint. He goes, I don't, it doesn't interest me at all.
Sure.
He goes, I don't like it, and just like the gaming doesn't interest me. So I can relate to him on a totally different level like that. But I always tell people, what do you want to paint for? So there's that. And then the one paint along video I did, people are like, that took almost 3 hours. I said, yes, it's a full paint along. I said, when you think about it, it's funny because you go, that's like 3 hours. But I go, if you ask me how long it took me to paint that miniature beginning to end, I go 3 hours. You go, that's it. But yet at the same time, the video is 3 hours. You go, that's 3 hours. Well, skip through it. What do you want? Like you want my process of how I did it. So this is what it is, Now I've kind of tweaked them a little bit. So now they're about an hour and a half video and stuff like that. And that one, I drug it out because like I did want to paint slower for people, but in turn I did end up with a 3-hour video, which is
Are you talking about the OSL
either.
one?
So
I think that was about.
Yeah, there was that one might've been about 3 hours. There was the, colored non-metal metallics I did. I've not been really good at. I've actually stopped recording them because it's just like the computer setup I'm using. It's not really great to record and stream at the same time. So I'd rather have the stream there and have my stream be solid quality. And then when I get moved in my new studio room that I'm working on here, which should be Friday, I'm going to be in that new room. Then my next goal was to start working on trying to buy a computer if you can even get parts and pieces for a computer at just 5 seconds. So it might be like a little bit longer and stuff like that, because I do want to up my streaming game and mainly be able to, because there's so many questions I answer and things I do during the day that I could just record a snippet of 30 minutes and then put that up on YouTube later. It's just like, a question someone asked, I give a little answer or the same answer again and again and again, like, oh, here's a command. That's the YouTube video you want.
Yeah.
But to answer your question about what do I teach people, back to the original question before I totally went all over the place. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what to do with my hands because normally all day long they're over here like painting and doing stuff and making hand puppets and weird stuff.
I've been playing with this bottle cap for like I can't not fiddle,
Yeah.
fiddle and fiddle. I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels weird sitting at this desk and not like doing stuff. And but what I tell people is have fun painting. Like that's the first and foremost. You need to have fun painting. And then I try to make it and teach in a way that makes sense with people because when you're taking, nobody looks at a canvas and goes, I bought all these canvases for what? To play this game. What game? Canvas game.
Canvas game.
I need to put paint on canvas now. You know, and it's like, but it's a very different because people who want to paint, they know that they're going to have to learn painting and stuff like that. Well, you have people who want to play a game or they might like this one model and they don't know how to, you know, so it's a whole different approach. Then, so the one book, I'm trying to think who it was by. I think it was Betty Edwards. I think it was her book on Color and Light. I can't remember the name of the title, but she talked about, I think it was that one. There's two books I read at the same time and I always confuse who did what, but they're both great books. I always recommend them. But either way, the point is, she said, you know, someone who's learning to paint also has to learn to draw. You know, someone who's just learning to draw has an advantage because all they're doing is learning to draw. They're learning perspective. They're learning, not that it's saying it's so easy, but then you add painting to that. And now you have perspective, drawing, color theory, light, shadow. You have a lot more. Now you got miniatures. Now you have all that in 3 dimensions. You know, like people don't realize a lot of times that I can canvas paint. Like that's not what I should. It's just something I did. I sat down, I did it, and I go, oh, I can do this. You know, and I did a paint. Most of my stuff is very stupid and silly. I know this. That's where I reside. It's what makes me laugh. I don't care. Well, I did a photorealistic cat portrait for a viewer who showed up and asked if I did stuff like that for her cat that passed away. I said, I tell you what, I will do it. If you like it, you can buy it. If you do not, and I don't do it justice, no harm, no foul. I said, because it's not my specialty. I did it, and I was very proud. And people went, holy shit, you can paint. They were like, honestly, I didn't think you had the ability to do this based off some of this stuff. I said, I know. I said, I know what I'm doing. I paint stupid on purpose. I was like, that was one of my favorite comments because people, it suddenly changed people's perspective that just because you don't see me do that stuff doesn't mean I can't do it. And, you know, but I tell people it's more about having fun. And what happens too is you see Space Marines and go, well, I bought Space Marines and they have to be Ultramarines, so they have to be blue. And then people get stuck into this thing of they have to be these certain things because there's certain box art. And I always tell people, you like Ultramarines, you like the blue, paint them that way. That's fine. I was never into that. I took a lot of slack for a lot of years because I painted everything wrong. And I always tell people I heard a lot of no's. I always tell people this to encourage them. I've heard a lot more no's than I heard yeses to get to where I'm at. I said, now the yeses are coming because people see that I do not care that I'm doing it wrong and I keep doing it. Like for Creature Caster, the first time I approached Creature Caster before they had their program and stuff, I said, you know, I was curious if you're ever looking for studio painters because if you don't put yourself out there and ask, you don't know.
Right, of course.
And they straight out looked at me and said, your stuff doesn't fit our aesthetic. Now they're like, do you want to paint this for us?
Yeah.
I go, yeah, I'll paint that for you because they understand I paint crazy ass colors. And people go, holy shit, that's really cool. And they really want that, you know, and it's not even technically super impressive. It's just, I just do what I like and what makes me happy. And I've had a lot of really
understand the paints and like values. So like, you know, I love the like turquoise, blue, hot pink stuff. It's so fun. It's so easy. I mean, purple I think is probably my favorite color to paint with, mainly because it doesn't exist, so you can't do it wrong. There is no like science behind purple to do it wrong. Whatever the fuck you want, it's in the zone, it's fine. Like that's the stuff that makes me super excited. But like when I saw your necromancer dragon, I was so glad that it was so different than everything else. I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
It was like the cotton candy necromancer dragon. Yeah. And it's funny because people are like, what the hell is this? I was like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, it's just like, I love what I do. I love doing weird stuff. And in turn, and that's the other thing I tell people too, like, because I get a lot of questions about, you know, whether it's from hobbyists about how to paint, how to break that down. And so I said, are you, you know, and I asked them, I said, what do you look for? And so when people ask for feedback, I always talk about what they did right, what I like about it, where they're on track, right, what they need to continue. And then I give them 1 or 2 small pointers because you can break it down and be like you're trying to critique it like it's getting ready for the Golden Demons. Yeah. And they're going to be so lost and confused. It's like, look, if they understood even half of that, they'd already be doing it. I said, you got to walk them into this Now if they want more intensive, full breakdown. Oh, and I never give it unless people ask to, because there's no point in that. A lot of times people don't want it, they don't care, and they don't need it. And it's like one of those things of, and then I get people that are like, well, I'm thinking about doing this for a living. I said, okay, now we have a very different conversation going on. What do you want to do for a living? Because everyone thinks that, like, don't be wrong, I make it look fun because I'm having fun. And it took me a long time to get here to the point that I get work that I want.
Sure.
And it's because I did not give up on the color schemes that I want. I tell them, it's like, if you do not want to paint Ultramarine Space Marines, do not fill your Instagram with Ultramarine Space Marines. You're going to get a following for that. You'll get people who want that from you. I said, the only time you ever see Space Marines really post on it that I paint is when it's like a display quality piece that I really had a lot of fun doing, because that's the kind of jobs I want to attract. I don't want to attract endless Smurfs and Evelyn's Black Templars. I've been down that path. It fries me.
Yeah.
Black Templars are easy, but they are no fun to paint. And I've turned down work. I've said I've turned down contract work. I've turned down work that was guaranteed because I go, I can't do it. It's soul crushing for me. Like I'd rather risk not having work than do this work. And now, granted, I am fortunate that I do have enough work that I can do that. I am very aware that not everyone's in a place to do it. You do have to work into that. You can't just quit your job and go, I'm going to paint this for a living now, and have no following, I don't want to say fan base, but no, way of getting out there, because people are like, how do? Yeah, and there is that too.
You hit a brick wall the second you quit your job.
Yeah, and that's people. One of the questions I get a lot too is how did you convince your wife, or were you doing this before you met your wife? Like, no, I've been married for like 17 years or something like that now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe going on 18 years. I always forget. Like, I'm so bad in that. Like, I know the day I got married, but I'm so bad with the years. So it's always got to, like, wait, it's going on 18 years. Yeah, something like 18 years coming up or something like that. And people are like, wait, what? You look like you're 12. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. People are like, wait, you don't even, like, I know that's like when people go, how old are you? I'm like, okay, how old do you think I am? They are like, I'm like, okay, let me fry your brain here. I've been with my wife 23 years. And they're like, they're like, were you married at like 10? I'm like, no. And they're like, you're that? I'm like, yeah, I'm older than I look. I have baby face. I said, that's why I have facial hair, so people don't ask me if I'm lost and I need my parents or not. And oh yeah, like I look real young without facial hair, like really young.
Do you have kids, or is it just the two of you and animals?
No.
Kids.
Just the two of us and animals. No, I'm a man child. That's enough children running around the house.
I'm the same way. Yeah, and no, like being self-employed will wear on you. Like that will be a thing that will age you. But it ages you in a way that is way more graceful than kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is like, this is way less stressful than what I was doing as a manager. Way less. I always say the only thing I miss about being a manager is the money.
Sure.
And there is no money in the world that will make me go back to that. Like, I will never go back to that job.
Well, I'm glad that
and I was good at what I did. Like, that was the thing. It was miserable.
Well, I'm so glad that this has actually worked and been something that, you can do day in and day out. Like, truthfully, like, I would love to paint but I would find myself, the second I get a job that I just really, I wouldn't, I would be punting, deal, because like, I know what my emotional weight is on something like that. And, it's hard enough as it is just day. But like, to sit down and be like, okay, for the next 3 hours, it's like, I don't self-motivate that well. So that's why I like being able to explore this hobby and explore different aspects of it, because like, the miniature wargaming community is really, really interesting, because they have a really specific mentality about painting and models. And the D&D people have their whole thing as well. And like, I love being a tourist in all of those places.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing the stuff that you can learn from somebody else, and somebody else's, psychosis and neurosis, to you, totally inspiring. Like
Oh yeah.
I've definitely had a couple things recently where I'm like with the Gunpla community, like the lengths that they go to not have to paint those models, where I'm just like paint the model. Who gives a shit? Like I've watched like people build gray models and then paint them up beautifully. Like just do it. Like they will bend over backwards to have the most like perfect, no nubs, no weird discolorations to the plastics.
That's amazing.
And that's in its own right really inspiring to look at these tiny pieces of plastic as something beyond just being to them. It's like the meditation is the expression, artistic expression. Been fascinating. Hey, teach me what you got.
Yeah, it's been very, very cool because some reason I've been getting a lot of Gunpla people piling into my stream too. And it's very cool. That's one of the biggest things I attribute to a lot of my success too, is that somehow I've bridged this very broad audience that wander in my stream, that it's not just miniature painters. Miniature painters actually make up a very small part of my community. Like, and I wouldn't say very small, they're prevalent, let me say that. But so many of the people I talk to day in and day out are people who don't paint miniatures, that don't have miniatures, that have no real desire. They're just like, I just like watching you, like, and it's just like, but it's cool because I get to expose new people. And I've got people go, I got into miniatures because of you. Like I saw what you were doing and I just started doing it because you made it look fun and easy. And like you make it so much less intimidating. And it's very cool watching this because then, and that's the thing I try to include everybody, is that Gunpla is just as applicable with miniatures, which is just as applicable as historical gaming. And like I have skill modelers that hang out. I have people who do nothing but 2D art that hang out, digital art, because it's like this art. And that's, I said, we are an art community. I said, I do not care. I don't care. And I always say this, I don't care if you do macaroni art and it makes you happy. Post that shit in my chat. I want to see it. I want to see what makes you happy and what brings you joy as an artist and what you love doing. And dude, it has been such an amazing year. And it has nothing to do with my growth. Like that's been awesome. Getting partners been awesome. The success I've had on has been awesome. But the people I've got to meet, the people in the industry, the friends I've made, the artist friends I've made. So there's an artist named Chris Reiniak, one of my favorite artists of all time. And he does this really kind of cool, like hold on, I have his. He does this really cool, like kind of like chibi monster kind of stuff.
Oh, nice.
And he does things called daily scribbles, where every day, like, I mean, he draws day in and day out, like where every day it's like scribbles and stuff. And he has these coloring books, morning scribbles. And just because of just the community that like has grown here and the people I've met and stuff like that, one thing I started doing was I tell people, get some coloring books. Play with colors on coloring books. I said, it's two-dimensional. You just get an opportunity to just have fun. Just play with colors, try color schemes you never would, things you wouldn't normally do. I said, it's relaxing. You don't have to think about drawing anything. So I started this one. I was like, we're just going to do a coloring book, guys. I pulled this out. I'm just going from the front of the book, working my way through. I said, we're just take a break. I need a mental break. We're going to have palette cleanser. We're going to do something that's totally mindless, where I get to just play with colors and try something fun. So I pulled this out. I sat on a desk, and I was in the zone talking about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, why I'm doing a coloring page, why we're taking a break, how this can relate to miniatures, how it can relate to other art and painting, like trying to like pull in inspiration from everything for people. That it just doesn't have to be one thing that you practice and stuff. Well, apparently someone photo screenshot that, went to Instagram, tagged the artist who has 1,000 followers on Instagram, and then tagged me in it. He said, oh, he's on Instagram right now painting this. I'm in here and I'm painting away and stuff. And I look up and I go, hey, dipshit, look at your chat. And I look up and I scroll back up and he goes, hey, it's me. It's Chris. I drew that. That's my drawing. I did that. I'm the one that did that. I'm here. Hello. Hey. I'm going, oh my gosh.
I totally
fangirled out. Like, I don't. Oh yeah. And it's like, and it wasn't even, and the funny thing was at that exact moment, I was like talking about it, but I was also like out in left field going, I wonder if he ever gets on Twitch. That'd be kind of cool if he showed up one day here. And there he was, because someone in my stream tagged him and he saw it and he showed up and hung out. And it was the coolest thing, because it was like like it's wild. Like and that was like that like the very end of the year. Like I was like, this year just really can't get any better for me because it was like one of these things where it's just being able to like touch base. And it turns out another one of my viewers is friends with him and like totally unrelated. And he was there giving him shit, just like he gives me shit all day, day in and out. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, dude!" Like, yeah, I've known him for years. Like it's endless back and forth with him, and it's very cool because it's just these people that they've seen what I do, they like what I do, they like who I am, they like the positivity in my stream, and they just want like, guys, you got to get in on this. Like it's become this like really meeting ground where people are just like, hey, I'm popping by and just saying hi real quick and got to do something else. You want to see what I was working on? Oh, absolutely. Keep on trucking and stuff like that. Cause I know people are busy and stuff, but it's been very, very cool. That's my favorite part is the community that's grown there. It's just like, because I'm tired of gatekeeping. I'm tired of miserable people. I'm tired of negativity. I'm tired of, and that's one thing I said. I remember watching very early on, like a video game streamer, a really positive one, Carl Sagan 42. He does like these Mario troll levels. Absolutely hilarious. He's like a bioengineer of some sort, PhD, something like that. And he'll be there doing these Mario troll levels that him and his buddies make for each other to just be dicks. And it's the funniest thing. And he'll be talking about bioengineering and just playing this level like it's nothing. And he talks about like a lot of life stuff, a lot of science. And I really enjoy him all around. But he's usually very, very positive. Like when he loses, like he laughs and free, like he doesn't freak, mother effer, I'm gonna kill your dog. He doesn't like lose his shit, like because that stuff's not fun for me. Like that stuff is just like, oh my gosh, like why are you even playing it if it makes you that angry? That's why I don't play a lot of video games because like video games are for me to decompress and unwind, not frustrate myself. But then, oh, you've tried it 100 times, then you get it right that one time. Yeah, but I tried 100 times and was pissed off 100 times. But like I really enjoy him. But I remember watching one stream where like I don't know, he'll have like 1,000 viewers, where he dumped those into someone who had no viewers, and watching this guy just break down, like just lose his mind, where he was just a guy just doing what he loved on stream to no one. And I went, I want to be that guy. I want to be that streamer. Not the guy on the receiving end. I don't care about that. Like I want to be the streamer who has a shitload of people to dump at the end of my stream that other people who have no viewers or very few or just growing or just starting out.
Yeah.
But they go from having 15 followers to 110, 120 people, however many I can dump into their stream and just watching them break. I've done that.
Man. It's so important. Like if you can
oh my gosh,
do
dude.
that, it's amazing.
And not that I won't ever rate other streamer friends that I think people should see as artists that are already doing well and stuff like that. Because we are friends. There's a great community. I will absolutely do that when I can. But to me, it means so much more to be able to keep growing a community and go, you're new here. I remember the first, and people go, oh, it took me a couple weeks. Okay, I want to put this perspective. My first couple weeks was 90 hours of talking to no one. In 2 weeks. So like it's not just, oh, I stream for 2 weeks at like 3 hours a week. No. Like it was like 9.5 hours a day for 2 weeks of talking to no one. Where I look up and see this viewer, hey, will you be my friend? Okay, you're gone, bye. And like I literally would do that too, because like for me, if I don't laugh about it, I was like, did I come on too strong? And like I have a viewer who found me, like who still comes to my chat every day. And I'll make that, he goes, no, he's not kidding. He did that. Like it was weird. Like it was just, he goes, but like people just kind of like I always go, people just kind of like hang out to see what weird shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the things like, and I tell people like, I don't know how to tell you this. Like I've had friends that like, I had a friend from high school actually pop in chat. He goes, no, this is exactly how he was in high school. Like there's nothing's changed like at all. Like this is just like, it doesn't, and I tell people like, this doesn't shut off when I go home with my wife. Like she deals with this shit all of the time. Like it never stops. And it's just, and it's like one of the things like I'm going to have fun in life. It's too short to be anything else. Not that you've seen me get serious in stream. People have seen that. When it's time to get serious and people, we will absolutely do that. But in the meantime, let's laugh, let's have fun. We'll be here for each other. And it's just been this really cool journey. And it's very cool because like I said, like I put everything into this, like my wife, like I was saying earlier, like people go, how did you convince your wife to do this? How did you talk her into this? I said, I didn't. My wife told me to quit my job and do this. Like she's been, like she believes in me. And like she said to me, she goes, what pisses me off the most about your job is the fact that I know that you can do anything in this world that you want. You are one of those people that can just do anything. And you're sitting here wasting your talent at this stupid ass job because it just makes money. And she goes, you're miserable. You're so much more and so much better than that. And I was like, and we found this building. It's like 4,700 square feet, so much more than I'd ever need. And in turn, I'm going to rent out space to artists who need space to do it for a couple $100 a month. I'm going to keep it as cheap as I humanly can just to make it work. Because because when I was looking to rent space as an artist, it was like $1,200 for a cubicle. And I had to be there the hours they dictated. And I went, that's insane. I bought my building for like almost nothing. Like it's a fixer upper and it's slow and I'm doing it all myself because I'm not going to have all these investors who want all their hands in a pocket because then I end up having to charge a $2,000 a month for a 10-foot by 10-foot room,
Right.
which is cheaper to buy a house here. Like it was literally cheaper for me to just go buy a second house for like less than half. Like my house I live in, I have a couple acres. We have a huge, and it was less, it's like half of $1,200 a month.
Wow.
Because I live in Nowhereville, but I was like, what do you guys like? Where's your pricing coming from? You're insane. And then I had to have a portfolio. I had to have an art degree. I had to have like 3 letters from other professional artists. Like it was like, who do you think you're going to attract here? Like I appreciate the art nature of what you're trying to build, but you're too business oriented with it. That understand. And I said, I'm going to do it my way. I saw this building. I saw the opportunity. I talked to my wife. She goes, I want you to have this building. She goes, I want this to happen. And we drained everything for it. Like everything is on the line with this. Granted, I do have the building that I can sell if it comes to that, which is because I'm not stupid either. I will try and make as many decisions but in my mind, it's either sink or swim. It's either I'm going to succeed or I'm going to fail. And if I'm going to fail, I'm going to do it on my terms, my way. And at the end of the day, I will say that I tried. I'd rather be my deathbed saying that I tried than be my deathbed going, I made a shitload of money. Didn't keep me alive.
I went on a
Didn't
couple
help,
good trips.
Yeah, and that's just it, and it's like I've had like this has been one of the craziest years of my life, and it's just been like one of those things of like everything I've ever worked for, pushed and challenged and strove for, and everything I've ever wanted to be is happening. Like it happened. And like someone goes, "What's your goals for this year?" Because I hit all my goals last year, and I go, I don't know. I don't know what's next. I have no because for me, partner was like, okay, you need to do this, 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 and then after that, it's like a job interview. They have to like you because you're a face of Twitch, or basically you just have to make them a lot of money and be a raging asshole
Yeah.
and be a gamer. I'm not saying all gamers are. There's plenty of gamers that are totally awesome. They're a partner, but it's like that's your option: either be really likable and a nice guy, or girl, or woman, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or be an insane raging asshole who makes them a shitload of money and they won't care what you do.
Well,
It's like that's kind of like
and
the choices.
to be partner on Twitch, we should for people who don't understand what that means.
Oh yeah.
Twitch is the only platform that asks for exclusivity and gives you like real like tiered goals to like get to a point where you actually make the platform. And being partnered is streaming I think 12 days a month, having concurrent viewership of 75 people every stream, and one other one I can't.
It's like so many hours because they don't want you streaming for 12 days for like 30 minutes. Like they want you. It's so many. Yeah, so it's so many hours, so many days a month, and then over the course of 30 days, 75 concurrent hours. I stream 48 hours a week. That's 75 concurrent viewers. I went, that's a pipe dream for me. Like that's going to be so difficult.
Huge hurdle. Like that when I was watching Reiner do his push for partner, and like I thought Reiner had it. Like you looked at his numbers and saw what it did, and I was like I thought he had it, and it really like struck me as like how hard that hurdle was. And then I got thinking about like being able to monetize YouTube as another like really high like hurdle to get into. It's 4,000 viewing hours, 4,000 viewing hours, which is a lot, and 1,000 subscribers, which the 1,000 subscribers it's a hurdle, but like that's less of a hurdle than getting 4,000 viewing hours, because you have to have something that fits. And so it's interesting to think about like the gatekeeping of the platforms, because like I never thought, Twitch, it was always a thing that I always liked what I did there, but I never thought it was going to be the thing that like made me money. And the little bit of money I was making off of Twitch, I actually found myself just flat out resisting, because it's like, either don't give me money or like give me lots of money, or just don't, like, give me Amazon credit. Like, I like literally the like $100 every 2 or 3 months. I was like, that's not cool emotionally to go through that hurdle, especially when you're
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And not Brushforhire. You're Brushforhire.
I'm Brushforhire.
My God, Ryan. Why am I Useless Wizard?
Reiner?
There we go.
Oh, Useless Wizard. Yeah.
Ryan was like, it's not a job. Don't look at it as a job. And I was like, yeah, but it's kind of a job. like the effort is a job. And so I don't know. Like I've had to renegotiate my relationship with Twitch. I tried to get them to allow me to do the stream, because I was like, I don't want Twitch to be my only home, seeing as how I can only stream really 1 day a week, because my job takes me away, and then whatever I'm trying to do with the podcast or channel fills up the rest of the space. So it's like I can only do it 1 day, and I would rather appeal to a broader audience and make less money, because I'm like you. It's the community. The Twitch community is amazing, and I don't want them to go anywhere. But there's a whole nother community of YouTubers out there and people who enjoy stuff on YouTube. And I'm like, and I'm leaving them in the dust because of like the opportunity to maybe make $50 a month. And I was like, this is insane.
And it's one of those things of like, people don't realize too, like now so the way it works is you can, anyone can be streamer, like anyone can just start streaming, and then you hit affiliate. If you agree to the affiliate contract, then you have the exclusivity. Now you can stream other places, but you cannot multi-stream simultaneously, and there's a 24-hour exclusivity. So anything I record today, I have to wait 24 hours to upload anywhere else.
Right.
That's the affiliate exclusivity. Now, partner, I cannot stream anywhere else, period. Like I can't multi-stream. I cannot stream anywhere else. I can upload videos to YouTube. That's fine. And I think actually now as partner, I can actually direct upload from Twitch to YouTube. I don't know. I have to look into that. There's so many things like I don't even know.
Right.
But like I am not allowed to stream anywhere else, period. Like anywhere. Like that's it. That is like, if this was live streamed on YouTube, I could potentially end up losing my partnership, you know?
Right.
So, but I know it's, which would absolutely suck, but it's like one of the things too, you know, it's one of the things that's really cool. And you do get more benefits as partner. That's why a lot of people seek it out. And for me, it wasn't the money. Like I wanted more emote slots, honestly. That was my biggest thing. I wanted emote slots. Like I wanted more emote slots. And that's my like funniest thing is like, I just filled out all of my emotes now. Like I need more emote slots, you know, but you know, you get more benefits, but like there is that, because even once you hit that 75 concurrent viewers, there is like an audit period where it's typically about 6 weeks is what it takes. They'll watch you, they see how you operate, they see how your viewers actually are, the kind of community you have, how you carry yourself. You know, it's like a job interview that's very one-sided. Like, and people, it's not like a job, like I was a manager, it's a job interview. I assure you that. Like I've done job interviews, I've hired people, I've fired people.
Right. This
is a job interview. Just because you're not answering questions doesn't mean you're not answering questions for them. And that's where it becomes very tough, because what happens to a lot of people will hit that 75 concurrent viewers in 30 days, but the previous days might have only been like the previous 30 days might have been 50. You know, because they rallied people, they got there. And a lot of times they'll say, well, we want to see, because I've had people, I was asking a lot of people, they're like, no, I got denied because they said they want to see 3 months in a row of it, because like they were barely pinging it, or they had one day that dropped below it and stuff. They said it gets very, very stringent. And that's why like my realistic plan was not to even be partner until like sometime this year.
Yeah.
Because I heard how like Jan, like he applied, like he says he can't even tell you how many times he applied. I think he said somewhere around 15 was the average, the number of times he applied, I heard.
It was a lot more than anybody else that I've ever, well, most people's like 3.
Yeah.
His was like 10 times that.
Yeah, it was brutal. Like, and it was wearing on him. It was absolutely ravaging him. And like, he didn't give up. Like, I commend him for that shit, because that was like the thing. Because I've known people that were like, yeah, I applied 3 times. They said, no, I'm done. You know, and like one person I know, his partner, he goes, I stopped applying because they kept denying. He goes, I just kept plugging away. He goes, I started averaging 150 viewers and I wasn't interested in partner anymore. I didn't care. He goes, and I got an email where they asked me to be partner. But they started putting me in a front page because my numbers were so high, and they were worried that, like, because it got to the point they're like, oh wait, we can't lose this guy. And that's why I was very, very shocked, because I was mentally set up. That's why I didn't say anything to anyone about it, because I wanted it to happen naturally. I didn't want to be telling, oh, guys, we're doing partner, and then I not get it, and then I get depressed, because I know how I am, where if it just happens and I don't get it, then I don't feel like I let anyone down.
Yeah.
It just came and went, and I can try. And that's why, like, when I got a yes after 2 weeks, I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. And then people are like, what are your next goals? I go, I don't know. Like, there's no concrete goals. Like partner was a concrete goal. Now I have no concrete goals. I don't know what to do.
Well,
Like, I know what I would like to do. I'd like to have 60 emote slots and have 10,000 subs a month, but like, I'm not going to beg people. Like I don't ask for subs. Like, I appreciate them. I fully love them. I support, like, I can never say thank you enough for them. I'm always absolutely shocked for how many I have. Like, it blows me away every single day, the support, the outpouring. Because, like, I always tell people too, when we talked about this at the very beginning, I tell people, do not measure your success based off of my success. I'm not saying you can't do what I do. I'm not saying you can't have the success I did, but I'm very aware that mine is very unusual.
Yeah.
That it's one of those moments that I just, I struck gold. Like, I don't want to say I'm lucky. Like, I'm aware of what's going on, but I can't tell you, like, how I did it, other than, like, I show up and I just be myself in front of the camera. That doesn't help you in understanding that. Now, there are things like my stream is janky. Like, I'm very aware of that. There's a very calculated jankiness to it. My camera image is very crystal clear. The rest of the stream doesn't really damn matter, because I don't care about the alerts and the weirdness that goes on with that. I don't care about having stuff all over the screen. I will break my stream in a heartbeat trying to be funny. I've done it in the past where I've had to go, well, stream over, let me restart my computer. Please don't leave. I'll be back.
I'll be right back.
I've done that in the middle of stuff, trying to be funny, where I go, oh, okay, this computer cannot handle this joke. I need to wait to a new computer before I can do this joke again.
Yeah.
And people are like, I was talking about that today. People are like, oh my gosh, I remember that. That was so funny. Like, that was so dumb. I'm like, I know. It was so bad. Like, I just destroyed it that day, because it was like a multi-stream with like Zambies and Mike Disney. And it was like right in the middle of it. And I'm like, oh, this will be funny to do. No, it wasn't funny. It wasn't. I mean, it was funny, but it was very, very dumb. It was very dumb.
Well, I mean,
and it was like one of the things.
Being brave with your stream, though, I think is part of the reason why people, like, it's not like you're always like falling apart or something. Like, it's like the fact that, like, you are like me, you didn't know how to do it right, so everything that you do, you're just gonna like experience and have fun with. Whatever works, and if it doesn't, try it again, go back. Like like the expectation's really low, all you can do is have fun.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think it makes it approachable too. And like, I always tell people, like, if you watch my stream, I don't have shit all over my screen. There's no donate, there's no subscribe, there's no counters, there's no nothing, because I have no problem that do that kind of stuff. But I watch a lot of people do it just because every other streamer does. So it'll be their first stream and they have crap all over the screen. They can't even get donations yet. They can't even get subs yet. And they already have those things up on the screen, which is fine. You want to do it that way, do it that way. And I'm always very careful. I'm not bashing people. I said, but if you don't feel like you have to do that to be a successful streamer, because I've had more people tell me they watch my stream because I don't have that stuff. They go, it's just painting. Yeah. That's all it is. And again, I will never bash anyone that has that stuff. That is 100% okay. I'm okay with it. It does not turn me off when I watch a stream. But I've seen streams that are so cluttered up with stuff that the painting is the least amount of space on the screen. Everything else, like 50% of the screen might be painting. The other 50% is just everything else crammed on there. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like
dude, I'm the same way. Like, the only thing that I have on mine now is I have the chat box, because I feel bad for people who have just hopped in and they don't know what people are talking about. Cause like, that's a weird thing. Like, you can't scroll up on chat and Twitch. On YouTube, you can. If you, wherever you hop in, it loads up the whole chat history. So you can go back. But on Twitch, you are like, if and especially if there's something really, it seems like, in streams like yours, like, you'll be in the middle of telling a story and people are commenting, and like, there's this like actual like excitement happening. And if you can't go back and look at what it is, it's really you feel like totally lost.
Oh, my chat is insane. Like, my chat, people are like, I don't know how you keep up with this. My wife goes, that's your ADHD superpower. Honestly, she goes, that's pretty much wise, because because people go, I don't understand. You keep up with chat and you never stop painting. Like you don't stop. Like you just keep on trucking on no matter what's going on.
Yeah.
And I said, because I said, it's muscle memory. I said, it comes to a point where I don't really think about what I'm doing. And in turn, I get bored painting, but the chat keeps me not bored. You know, a lot of that is, as I said, you guys think you're entertaining me. Or you guys think that I'm entertaining you. I was like, you're absolutely entertaining me.
Yeah.
I was like, because otherwise I just sit here and I talk to myself. And trust me, the conversation doesn't change much than what I'm talking about now, except I'm the only audience. And you can only laugh at yourself so much, you know. And it's like, I get people are like, because what I started doing is doing ad breaks when I go use the restroom and heat up my lunch real quick. I throw up a 3-minute ad break. I'd like, look, I appreciate you guys sitting through it. You know, it helps me out. I get revenue from it. It helps people for like the next 30, 40 minutes not have to see an ad that might want to potentially check me out. Don't want to sit through that. I said, plus all I have is my potty break screen, which people are like, your thing literally says potty break. Like I was like, yeah, I'm not graceful. Like, I don't care. Like, people know what I'm doing. Guys, I gotta go back. I'll be right back real quick. And I run out of there. But like, I'll scream the whole way through my building because it's huge. Like, I'll just scream the whole way through the building because I find screaming hilarious. Well, I realized very quickly that people can hear that in this room from all over the building. And people are like, oh my gosh, they're like, subbing to you not to get the ad so I can hear your screaming the whole way through the building is the funniest thing. Like, they're like, this is so worth the sub alone. I'm like, that is so weird. Like it's this interesting dynamic too. And I see a lot of streams where like people don't interact with the chat at all. And they wonder why there's no chat. It's like, well, because you're not interacting with the chat. Like it's and you don't have to stop what you're doing and cater to them on any level. Like a lot of my mods, it's funny because like we were talking about like breaking things and trying stuff. Like my mods have a newspaper command that anytime I start touching the keyboard, they type in newspaper and it smacks me with the newspaper because I'm not supposed to mod or touch anything. So like, that's what we're here for. You like, stop it. Just stop doing that. Like every time you touch it, something goes wrong. Like I know, like I did something to OBS the other day where windows were popping out, but I couldn't get them to get back in. I go, why won't this little pop out go back into where it's supposed to be? And now it's like in tabs, and now I can't get the not be tabs, and I can't see the thing I need to see to switch. Like it's so screwed up, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm going, I shouldn't touch it because it's still usable, because if I touch it, it's probably going to permanently break, and then I'll be really screwed. Like, I don't know what's happening here. And they're like, why did you touch it? I'm like, I didn't mean to. I accidentally clicked on it while I was dragging something, and it dragged this, and now it won't go back. They're like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, I know that feeling, man. That's always the worst, where you accidentally like pull out the chat bubble and it like goes behind the window and you're like, oh shit, where did it go?
Yep. Yeah, and it's like, I'm using a Mac right now because I bought Mac for the color correctedness, for the art, for, you know, what I bought it for, it's great for. It's not great for streaming. So anytime I start touching anything, it's like, do you really want to touch this? I go, no, I don't, but I need to fix it now. And they're like, you're really tempting fate here, buddy. Like, I know, Mac, but please don't burst into flames in the middle of this stream. Please wait. Like, I just need it to work.
So what video camera are you using? Because you have a really good crisp stream, but I'm looking at your setup there and I don't recognize that as like, is it like a handy cam that you?
Yeah, I use an actual camcorder. It's a Canon Vixia HFR82.
Okay.
You know, it's 1080p. You know, I mean, it's a legit camcorder, you know. And that's like one thing, because I was looking at that stuff, and because I have a Logitech C922, and technically my first stream was like in December, towards the end of it, as soon as I got internet hooked up here at my building. And it was like 5 minutes just to test out the camera. I tried it with my Logitech C922, and I was like, no. I was like, I was like, this is, and I already had this camera, but I was like, okay, well, the webcam's plug and play. Luckily, this thing was plug and play too. I already had the Elgato Cam Link thing, so all I had to do was plug it in, and it worked.
Nice.
And so I set this up, and I was like, oh no. Instantly, I looked at it, yeah, I should have never even tried the webcam. That was stupid. This camera is flawless. Like and like people are like, and I have a buddy who just invested in one. He goes, oh my gosh, dude. He goes, all the colors are correct. I'm like, yes. I said, I don't mess with the settings. I don't touch. The only setting I touch is exposure, because it will fluctuate as I do different drops. Sometimes if something's prime black, I want the exposure to be brighter so you can actually see the detail on a black prime thing.
Right.
You know, and if something's totally white for some reason, I turn the exposure down because it'll just blow out the camera. So that's the only setting I'll touch throughout the day, is the exposure, to take that up and down, because some of the colors I work with are very wild and very, very bright. So while one one customer's paint job was fine 10 seconds ago. This paint job I'm working on now will absolutely blind you if I don't change that exposure. Other than that, I don't change color balance. I don't change anything. I tell people I paint under 6500K temperature lights for my light arch. They're 95 plus CRI, so they're color rendering index or whatever that stands for. So they're color corrected lights. Basically, once you hit that 95 plus, anything you put under there is going to show up the correct color. You're not going to have, because people go, what the temperature of the bulb? LEDs are different when it comes to temperature of bulb.
Right.
A incandescent 5000K bulb is different than a halogen, which is different than the fluorescent tubes. LEDs are very different in the way they display light. So it might be a 5000K bulb, but if it's like 70 CRI, your colors are going to be skewed out and dulled out all over the place. So and it's not like these are that much more money. It was only a couple bucks more to get that 95 plus CRI.
Yeah.
But it makes my color, like, I don't have to wear it, because I hate screwing with stuff on a computer. I hate it. I hate it on every big thing within me hates it. So if I can buy something physical that's going to help save me something I have to touch on here, I will absolutely do that.
Sure.
And that's why for me it was so worth investing in the gear, because it saves me on the software side of it. That makes me want to like just jump into traffic.
Yeah. Well, and like I've realized that like, I'm really envious of like what like Eenie Meenies and Zambi's just got a new camera and she's excited about it. I'm really envious of these new cameras, but like I bought a new webcam because like I had a really garbage webcam that did a decent job. I was shocked at like I got like the Logitech Go, and that's my top down cam, the cam that I'm using now. I'm just doing it in a dark room, lowy, but like on the table during a stream, I'm like, yeah, that's an expensive webcam, but it's amazing how much better the colors are. And I'm just like, oh my god, like I have to like actually turn down the saturation a little bit because I had OBS set up. Everything was still gained out, and I was like, man, this is great. This is like actually having to fuck with these settings anymore.
Oh yeah. Probably one of the nicest camera setups that, because like anytime I find a new streamer and I go, oh, what are you using? There's a streamer, Zadie, Zaydi, or no, Zaydii, Zadie. I remember catching her stream out and I go, what camera are you using? Because it was super crystal clear and super well color balanced and stuff. She goes, I'm using a C922 with a light ring. So she had the light ring, like the light ring pointed straight down and a camera straight down through the middle of the light ring. So everything was enveloped in it evenly. I was like, this is really, she goes, yeah. She goes, I'm a photographer by trade. So she goes, she goes, the camera controls nothing. Everything is controlled manually through the computer. All my white. She goes, it took a while to get it calibrated, but once I did, nothing gets touched. She goes, my white balance is set and calibrated. She goes, everything. And she did, that's what I tell people, like, you do not have to have a setup like I do. But if you're willing to mess with the software stuff, you can get a $100 webcam and like a $20 light ring and get a really nice setup.
Sure.
It takes a little bit of tweaking, but you can do it. I hate messing with that stuff. So for me, this was worth it because I knew I wanted to eventually do YouTube videos. So having a 1080p camera was very important for me. That was why I went with this, because I wanted simple. I wanted to record. I just wanted to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to mess with everything else.
I feel. Are you planning on doing much more with YouTube, or do you think that because the and the people that it does, is YouTube something?
I definitely do want to do YouTube. That was kind of my plan, was especially with the monthly paint alongs, was to record those, edit them down somewhat, and throw them up there, But what's happened is, because of the limitations of streaming with the Mac, I cannot get a really good recording of that. And then the stream suffers and stutters and stuff like that while I was trying to record at the same time. So I just said, okay, forget it. I'm just going to build my new computer setup and I'll worry about recording all that stuff when I do that, like I'll worry about it then, So I do plan on doing YouTube because I do want to do tutorial videos. I want to do them the way I do them. I want to do them weird. I want them to be entertaining. Like, I have some ideas that are just very strange. And I've run it by some people and people are like, oh my God. Like, yes, that you need to do that. Whatever the hell that is, I will watch that. I don't even care if I learn anything. Like, it's just strange. I'm like, I know. Like, have you ever seen a miniature painting video with a lot of gratuitous blood? You will.
You will.
Why does it have puppets and blood? I don't understand. I'm like, I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny.
I mean,
and just like,
some of my most favoriteest YouTube stuff that I've found this year is Craftsman. I watch Craftsman.
Oh my
Muppet.
gosh, Craftsman's so
It's
good.
the best. It's absolutely the
Craftsman.
best. Actually, my wife,
Oh, so good.
keep on steady.
Oh, that's awesome. Steady crafting. His
And
videos are so funny.
did you ever watch Reno 9?
Yes.
You remember Craig, the Truckee River killer, who made his screen door out of human hair, and Trudy was dating him?
Oh no.
No.
Oh,
He has his own news show 3 times a week,
oh
and
man.
it's one of the funny because it's that character
I'm gonna
doing Craig's News Live. Uh,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
it's insane. And I've had this like whole like my favorite YouTube stuff actually isn't what is good YouTube stuff. It is the exact
Yeah,
opposite
that's
of what the algorithm wants you to do.
oh, I know. I have to search and search and search to find stuff because it's like they just want to feed you video game crap endlessly. And don't get me wrong, there are some video game feeds I watch where it's like, especially like there's a on Barry a Bug, Civ Ryan. There's a number of those guys that do GTA online role play stuff. And they set these scenarios and they are so funny. Like they do one where they'll do like 5PD or Code Zero will be like four of them are cops, one of them's the criminal running and they play these insane characters because they have characters they always role play on there, but then he'll be the criminal for the day. And like they'll pull him over and they have some of the funniest characters. And it always turns into an insane chase where cars are blowing up and then they always end up shooting. Like no matter what it is, it could be like a 10-mile-an-hour speeding ticket. Take him down, and they're shooting a guy in the back of the head because it's just like the only way they know how to stop the traffic. Like it's just insane. Like it's just
Right.
it's bonkers. Like that's funny, but like most of it, like you said, their algorithm is so broken. And someone did a video. They said I cleared my cache. I logged out of YouTube. I'm basically logging in like it's the first time with no user stuff because I want you guys to see what YouTube shows very first time log on. And all it was NBC, CBS. They said these are networks. They said it's not even people creating stuff anymore. He goes, you have to search. So he goes, and that's the problem is they're moving further and further away from making it about the creators. And it's so much harder to get monetized on there. And when you are monetized, you make so little money. And now, like, it's one thing about Twitch. I can sit there and go and just scream the F word all day long and still make money on Twitch. They don't care. As long as I'm not violating terms of service, they don't care.
Right.
YouTube, oh, you said the F word, you're demonetized. You did this,
you
you're
can get away with
demonetized.
the F word. They talk like people talk about like shit that like oh, I don't want to do this, I'll get demonetized. Actually, you know what will get you demonetized? Talking about mental health. We spent the whole time and I titled it like this is how you get over addiction. We would be demonetized. Otherwise, like as long as you don't say the F word 30 seconds into the video, because like
is it 30 seconds? Okay.
It's 30 seconds. And that's how short people's attention span is, that you have a 30-second window to not say fuck. Like,
oh, man.
and after that, like they don't give a shit. Like so I'm finally now monetized on YouTube. And I was like, man. Oh, I'm never gonna make a dime off of this. And while like I'm still like ad revenue's garbage, I'm starting to multi-stream now. I rescinded my affiliate agreement with Twitch because like it was such a little amount of money anyway. I would rather stream to the community, and I have a Patreon where if people want to support me, that's the best way because like you get to see all the weird like what I'm thinking about doing, and you get to tell me it's a bad idea, which is good. I need that sort of help, and so like that's how I would rather interact with fans. And on my first stream on YouTube, I made more money off of super chat than I do in a typical month on Twitch. And I was like, this is really weird. And that's not going to be the typical thing that people get, because YouTube, you're right. They've made it so hard for people to get monetized that like if you were to go on there right now, you would be starting at square one trying to get monetized on there. And it's just it's so unfair when people actually are doing the work and putting in the effort into growing these things. You know, it's interesting because when I see people like you, I'm like, let's get you in front of as many people as possible. Like, people need to
Yeah, and I
watch your
appreciate
stream.
Yeah, and I love it, and for me, like, I understand my nature. Like, YouTube videos, like, my appeal and my strength, I'm not gonna even say just appeal, but my strength comes from that instant interaction with people. Like,
Yeah.
I play well off of people. Like, my humor works off that way, my wit, my comebacks, like, my interact, like, that's where my strength is the Twitch interaction right then and there,
Yeah.
and YouTube videos, like, I have my whole mindset for YouTube videos is very different than what I would do for my Twitch stream.
Yeah.
It's going to be stuff I do for me to make me laugh. Like, if people want to watch and laugh, great. It's going to be weird as hell. I understand that. I don't care. It's just what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be very weird. Like, and I cannot wait till I can do that. But like the picture I sent you in so the room I'm in right now in this building is 10 foot by 10 foot right now. The new room is like 19 foot by like 36 feet. And that's gonna be my main streaming, recording, kind of like all the room in the world to do stuff kind of room. And I'm supposed to be in there like Friday this week. That's my goal, because I'm gonna be doing body painting on my stream this Friday with someone who is brave enough, foolish enough, doesn't know what they're getting into, multi-streaming with me.
Just don't show the feet.
She was Yeah, she was kind enough to say yes, and I told her right off. I said, "I'm telling you right now, it's going to be weird. It's going to be very weird,
It's
like
gonna be weird.
super weird." Yeah, it's like, you do your thing, and I'm going to do my thing. I said, "I'm not going to disrespect you on any level." And she goes, "I just wanted," because that's one thing she said. She goes, "I just want you to know, because of the body painters." And I was like, "No." I was like, "There will be none of that." I said,
Right.
"Those jokes don't fly." I said, "I will ban people in an instant over that garbage." She goes, "I kind of thought so from checking out your stream for yeah." I said, "I have no tolerance," because I've had people make jokes like, "Oh yeah, she's only got so many followers because of two big reasons." I'm like, "Well, I'm sure if you ask her that, she's not going to say that." You hear
Yeah.
me? And they got very quickly that we were not going to go down that path, because I don't care if it's true or not. I don't care. Like, that's
Right.
not my prerogative. Like, and she might think that. I don't know. I can't say that, but I'm not going to let somebody else make those statements for her or about her, because
Right.
that's not fair. I was like, that's not fair. It's not right. And like, I have no tolerance for that garbage.
Yeah.
And and here's the thing, is like, some of these streams I go, I don't even know how these people make money in your stream. They don't do anything. They just
Yeah.
sit there and blabber at the camera and be entitled, and people give them endless subs. Whatever, good for them. If that's what people are entertained by, it's like anything else. People watch Jersey Shore. I will not put that garbage into my face holes on any level. Like, if people
Right.
are like, well, that's what makes it funny. It's like, no, it frustrates me that there's people that run around like that. Like, I'm
Right.
not watching it. Like, I get that it's a train wreck and a flaming, like, it's like a 50-car train that's nothing but flaming dumpsters in every car, barreling 300 miles an hour off a cliff. And people are like, that's what makes it funny. That's what agitates me, because then people see that, they replicate that. And then like it's not like an isolated comedy, it's reality. Even,
Yeah.
and people love that stuff. They're entertained by it. And I will never bash anyone who watches it. If that's what entertains you and you like it, great. I don't care. But like, I don't
This
get
is
it.
this is the right reality TV. The Twitch,
Yeah.
hanging out, watching you do something. Like, I was telling my wife about it, and she's like, like, my wife's 10 years older than me, and she's like, it reminds me of public access TV. And I had that moment of like, live streaming is public access TV. YouTube videos is public access TV. I was just like, holy shit. Like, because I remember watching public access TV and having such a great time as a kid, being like, dude, these guys are like crazy as hell. What are they doing? Like, you could never figure it out. And I think that that's the exciting part of Twitch and YouTube, and just content creators are allowed to explore those things. And
that's my favorite part of it, because I watch less Hulu, and I canceled Netflix because I'd rather watch people making stuff on YouTube that are just being genuine, or just doing it because they love it. I'd rather watch Twitch because it's people doing it. And it's funny you talk about public access TV, because I remember watching it was public access. It was like some lady who had some show where it was like math tutor or something. People could call in and they could get help in their math problems. And I remember sitting there with my mom watching this, because she's like, I want you to watch this, because that was like, I was good at math. And we're watching this lady's trying to work out a problem. Go, what the hell is she doing? And this kid was on a phone, and she's like, are you understanding it? And he just went, ah! Just like total meltdown, and slammed the phone down. And this look on this woman's face was just like just total, like her holding this whiteboard, just like total, like Did not, and I'm dying. Like I am on the floor laughing my ass off because you could tell it wasn't like he was trying to like be a dick. Like he just snapped because he just wasn't getting it. His
Right.
only response was just like screaming and then just slamming the phone down. It was the funniest thing. It was so horrible, but it was like because it was live. It was live public access television. You can't make that stuff up. And it was
Nope.
just like, what is happening?
I mean, I think you just got yourself a new idea for, whenever you feel like you need to like change it up, just put up like a link to be able to do video chats where you come in and just like try to help people math all day. Just fucking
Oh
with people
man,
who
that'd be
need.
so funny. But my problem is I wouldn't like. I always said if I ever had a kid, I'd just teach him words wrong, not even necessarily bad words, just incorrect usage of words because I'd find that shit funny, and then I'd ruin his life, and I'd be arrested and the kid taken away because that's just how I am because I find that stuff funny. But I probably will incorporate that now somehow because it's like I like doing characters and stupid voices and stupid stuff like that, and people. I guess I started doing Karen and apparently people really like that. And they're like, Karen. I'm like, no, we're not going to wear this out. That's Karen's got to get saved for special moments because people will get. My wife is like, I fucking hate that. She goes, I want to stab you every time you do that. That is so damn annoying. I said, that's what makes it funny. She goes, it's horrible. She goes, I hate it when you do that voice. I hate it so much. I'm like, I know. That's what makes it great because it is horrible. And it's like I ran a character by my wife last time. Like, hey, I come up with a new character. She goes, what? It's like it's special for the auto warranty companies that your extended warranties coming because I mess with scam callers on stream. I don't know if you ever caught that or not, but
I
like
haven't.
especially the
No.
IRS ones. Oh man, like I'll get them going, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, dude, that was." I was like, "Yeah, it's like there's a way they look for certain mentality types, and if you cater to that mentality type, you can string them along. If
Yeah.
you pretend like you're scared, like you don't want to go to jail and stuff, I'll play it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, dude, like you came up with fake names, you came up with like, yeah, it's just you just roll with it." I said, but if you watch the stuff that I come up with is very close to reality, just wrong, and when you base it off somewhat reality, it's much easier to sell. And they're like, holy shit. And like, I had this person go and I said, and I gave them fake social security number, fake, and they were pulling up all this stuff. And I was like, hold up, let me ask you something real quick here. I just gave you a fake name, fake social security number, and like 67, 80 people that are watching me on Twitch want to know how you managed to pull up all kinds of stuff. And you could hear the silence, her yelling for a manager, the manager yelling at her, and then them hanging up. I was like, this is awesome. Like, 'cause it went on for a while too. I had them going. It was great. But I got
Uh,
one. I haven't messed with the extended warranty people in the automobile because I hadn't had a good character or voice or any story for that one. Because the IRS one is easy to mess with. Those people
sure.
are great because they're trying to get money out of you, so you can string them along. Because they'll put up with pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But I ran it by my wife the other night. She goes, "Oh, that's good." I'm like, "I know, I can't wait. Like, I'm not going to spoil it, but I can't wait to use it because." And now I'm sitting here every time, like, why is the phone not ringing now? I never get nothing. But there was one. It was like, "Oh, do you want to make $10,000 a day from home?" And so I kept hitting through until I could get to someone because I wanted to talk to someone. I wanted to see how long I could string these
Right.
lunatics along. Well, it went straight to voicemail. So I proceeded to leave this voicemail about how I was trapped in the trunk of a car and this is the only thing that I could get a hold of. And I was doing sound effects and I was like, if you see my dad, let him know that I love him. If you have seen my son, I haven't seen him in like 16 years. Tell him he's still a stupid asshole and like all this like insane stuff. And I was pretending like I was slamming the desk, pretending like I was going over speed bumps and just like, oh my gosh. It went on and on and on until like I just ran the voicemail out until it just disconnected. I said, "Can you imagine what this person's going to think when they check this voicemail? It's going to be awesome." It's
Oh
like
man.
I don't know if someone did it. Probably deleted immediately, but I had a good time.
I think only people our age like really understand like the golden era of prank phone calls,
Oh
and I
man,
hope
yeah.
that's a gift that you give to younger. Bring
Oh
back
yeah.
that sense of humor.
Oh yeah. And there's a right way and a wrong way to do it too. Like calling people at 2 a.m. and just be like, "I'm going to jerk off on you." Ha ha. Ha. Like what? That's not even funny. That's stupid. That's sexual harassment.
Yeah, and it's
It's
really
just like
late.
that's yeah. It's like it's 2 a.m. too. Like I don't even want to be up that late. That's like it's like what time is it now? We got yeah, like right now I'm usually crawling into bed,
Yeah,
and it's just like I'm old. Like I know I'm not old, but like look, like I know I used to have friends like, hey, want to come watch a hockey game? Okay, one, you obviously don't know me because I don't watch sports, and two, it is 11 p.m. on a work night. No, I don't want to go out and watch the hockey game. Like I
yeah,
don't even want to watch the hockey game on a weekend. Like you're out of your mind. It's like, that's the last thing I want to do. I'm
Yeah.
married. I want to be at home.
I'm over those days.
Yeah. It's
Well,
like, I was, ugh.
we have gone like well past my hour that I shoot for, and I suspected this would be a thing that would happen, and which just means we're gonna have
Yeah.
to talk again later on. I
Oh,
normally
I'm fine
ask
with that. I
people
love this.
like I normally ask people what their like big hairy audacious goal is, but like you have already told us your goals. You have you
Yeah.
you it's so inspiring to know that like you have this vision of what, and I appreciate that. And like I don't even know if I can uh uh I can't understate how important that is to me. No, because I think that that's a really doing this. You're taking it seriously,
Yeah.
and you're doing a great job with it. Glad that you're make make the art space and the so much better without you.
Thanks,
Huge
man.
vacuum there.
Thanks, man.
Uh,
That means a lot to me. And that's what I want to be. I want to be a force of positive. Like, I don't want to just be positive. I want to be a force of positivity that people see what I do and it sets the bar high. And I don't even mean for streaming, for quality picture, for painting, but who I am, how I carry myself, and how I build people up. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing other people following my example. Like Bone Shooter in my stream is one of those where he'll be like, "Hey, found a new streamer has like 10 followers. Let's bombard them." Perfect.
nice.
We do that, and people like my viewers have gotten used to go, "Hey, I just found someone. If you're looking for someone to raid, they have like one viewer and like 15 followers. Can we raid them?" Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And they get excited for that. They get excited because I get so many raids where like I'll get like 115 people dumped in my stream, and I'll look up and after like 10 minutes, I'm like 5 viewers more than what I had before because everyone leaves, which
Yeah,
is fine. Like that's fine. Like I don't care. Like it doesn't break me. I'm a
yeah,
big boy, whatever. But the thing I love about when I dump people in my stream, you always get the people that have other people they want to watch at the same time. I get that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with leaving a raid.
right,
I'll make that very clear. I'm not shaming people for leaving a raid,
right.
but it's very cool when I dump like 110 people into someone's stream, and after like 20 minutes, there's still like 75 people there, and they had one viewer before that. That is insane. Like I'll watch rapid fire, follow, 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 and watching these people just break into tears or like where they've been talking to no one for days, and watching people break into tears where they're just like, and they just can't talk. I'm like, hey, calm down, relax, show us your art. What are you doing? Just show
He-
me what you're doing. Just
All
keep it
here,
simple.
man.
And we had this one kid one time. We rated this kid, and he was a kid, and his parents were there. That was the one thing too, because like parents have to be there.
Yeah,
And he had like no one. Like he was at his kitchen table. His mom was cooking dinner in the background. His sister was running around or something like that. And he had just started painting miniatures. I'm like, let's do this thing. I think we dumped like 100 people in his stream, and it was like his first stream or something like that. And Bone sure had led him along to keep him on just for a few minutes long, a few minutes long, a few minutes. Hey, what are you working on? Oh, show me your future project. Dumped him in there, and this kid lost it. Like he's like, Mom, there's like 80 people, and she goes, what? Why? What are you doing? She goes, you're such a good boy. You're so talented. I'm like, yes, you love your mother. She goes, give me a kiss. She goes, no. I'm like, you kiss your mother right now, or I'm leaving. And it was so funny. The kid was awesome. Like he cracked me up. Then his dad came over. He was like, Dad, it was so funny. His sister's trying to get in on it so everybody could see her. It was the greatest thing because it was just like these people that just like, he's like, wait, you do this for a living? I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, yeah, you sure can. You can do anything you want.
yeah.
And that's what I said. Like, I will always encourage people. And, and if I had to answer your question, though, because I know we did talk a little about this, but if I had to answer my questions, one of my goals is I want to be one of the biggest art streamers on Twitch. Like, that's a personal goal of mine. Like, I don't know what that would look like. I don't know how that would happen. I don't know if it's even achievable doing what I do. If it doesn't happen, that's fine. I'm so happy with where I am and where it's going already. But like the fact that the growth keeps happening, people keep coming in, and the community keeps growing. And I don't want it to be, and more importantly, I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about growing together as a community, finding that positivity and finding people, because some of these groups have become so toxic where you post something up and they go, your paint's crappy, your paint's thing. You need to learn to do this. You need to blend better. Like, cause I get that on my pictures I post, like people just post stupid stuff without even, it's like, someone person I would have preferred to see this and that. I said, well, you're more than welcome to hire me to paint you one. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Because it's like no one asked you.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what you prefer. Like it's not your piece. You didn't paint it, and guess what? I sold it, so someone else liked it apparently.
Right.
And it's just like, and like, Facebook is good for that because you look at a Facebook. I belong to Facebook groups that have like 20,000 follow things, and you look at some of the highest posts that have likes, and it'll be like 20 likes. How
Yeah.
is there 20,000 people in this group? And what it is people just post and don't care, don't interact, just post and don't interact. And don't be wrong, it could be tough because there's a million posts going on a second in Facebook because it's a total cluster. But there's no community. It's just people going, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And that's why I want to grow something different. That's I saw this, and it's easy to get caught up in bitching about stuff, or we can be the change. As I say, you be the change you want to see. And
Absolutely.
that's what I choose to be. That's what I'm choosing to be in my life is being the thing that I want to see. I want to see positivity. I want to see encouragement. I don't want to bitch about stuff. That's easy. That's the easy way out that everyone goes, oh yeah, you're so right. Okay, what's that helping? Someone once said that if you're talking to someone about your problems that cannot help you with them, you're just complaining.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm not talking about having that friend that can be that ear to listen because that's important too. I'm just talking about the people that will just talk, 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 but do nothing to change themselves, their situation. They don't go to anyone that can change anything. They just, and that's I want to be something different. I want to be that bar that people can see. And that was the coolest thing I realized very quickly when that situation happened all that time ago in my stream, that people were like, holy shit, that was my biggest fear ever happening in my stream. But I no longer fear that because I see how it can be handled. I
Yeah.
see something different. And, I had people message me going, man, I've had people in my stream where I flipped the hell out on them and I regretted it. And you showed me something completely different. I have so much respect. And it was very cool because these were people that had been streaming for years and I was nobody.
Yeah.
Like I came on a scene as nobody and just said, I'm here, deal with it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm here. I'm here.
I've seen
It's
some
like I'm gonna do my
old
thing.
stream,
And
some of the old guard. They are fragile as fuck. Like you're just like you guys.
they
Like
are.
it's a whole new world as far as the way people and specifically COVID, like brought a lot of shit
Hmm.
front forward. Like now the audience
Yeah.
base is like 10 times the size that it was, which we have
Yeah.
10 times the problems. Can't handle just a little bit. Like if this thing keeps on growing, it's gonna overgrow you. I think you have the right
Yeah.
personality to like, surf that wave of positivity. Yeah, we're gonna take a couple bumps along the way and we're gonna get wet because it's the fucking ocean, but it's the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
Like
And it's
you
like,
have this like great like I've always loved when I get to sit down and know it.
and I
It's gonna
appreciate
be a great
that.
time.
I appreciate that. And that's what I want. I want it to be like I said, we can get serious and like if people are like, I don't want drama. But if people are having a problem, like, hey, my mom died, I'm having a bad day, my depression's acting up, we will talk about that. We will get into that. We will be supportive. We will be here for you because sometimes people just need someone to know I'm here for you. And that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. But like people with the drama and stuff, like I said, I didn't even have the banding guy that was bagging on me by my nails. My mods like got on him like guard dogs because they have no tolerance for that. And and like I said too, I was like, look at me. Do you think I care what you think?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
look at me, dude. It's like I'm insane. Like I get like there's nothing you can say to me that's gonna hurt me. I was like, I used to tell my guys when I was manager, there's two things that will make me lose my mind. When I ask you to do something, you tell me that's not my job. I will choke you out in front of the boss. I do not care. I will drag you to his office. I will choke you unconscious in front of him. And I told my bosses this, and they laughed their asses off because I said, I'm very simple, or say anything about my wife.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the two things that will make me choke you unconscious. I said, other than that, we're not going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, one guy, he gave me attitude because I asked him to do his job, and he literally went, as a grown ass adult, he did that to me as a manager. And I guess I made this face of contortion of just pure rage in that moment where I was going to reach through the speakerphone and choke him unconscious through a speakerphone somehow. And I remember my guys, because that was still a newer manager, they went, holy crap, dude, that was like horrifying. I said, we will never say anything about your wife ever, ever.
Yeah. Well,
Because
we don't want to
they
push.
like, I'm not a yeller, I'm not a screamer, I don't freak out. because my thing is when you have those people that just freak out and scream about everything, nobody takes them serious. It's like an angry chihuahua, but people might go, oh, okay, and they leave them alone because they just don't want to deal with it. Like no one's scared of a chihuahua, but people leave the chihuahua alone because it makes a lot of noise and it's not worth dealing with. You know, managers that do that are like that. But when I raised my voice, the entire place stopped what the hell they were doing because it was so unusual. Like I had people that were a problem. I said, how about you knock the fuck off right now? And they were like, and they put down what they were doing and stopped it. And they were like, I've never seen him respond anyway. I was like, that's because I don't normally get like that. And he knows that he pushed every damn button I had at that point in time because I just had enough of it, you know. And there's a reason why I am like I am, you know. It's just like, it's just like, there's no need for it. You know, I find people that are more calm and cool and collected all the time way more terrifying.
Yes, it's the serial killer sort of like what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Well, Sean, I
And as
should.
you haven't figured out, like I got diarrhea of the mouth, man. I'm sorry.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I mean, like that's the best part about all of these murder basement. So many of us, especially right now, not being able to get out and hang out and go to cons and all, you know, like we, especially us extroverts, we need this. So, you know, thank you so much
Yes.
for talking
Yes.
something again. It is late and I should.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing I will say. I kept saying all day, I was like, oh, guys, I'm doing an interview tonight on murder time in a hobby basement. I'm going, no, wait. Damn it, that's not right. It's hobby time in a murder basement. I kept saying murder time in a hobby basement all day because like that just like I have verbal dyslexia, so
Yeah.
like things just come out all, which makes for hilariousness. But like it was like, oh man, I was like, it's a very different show.
I love
Very
murder
different
time
show.
in the hobby basement. That's like, like I've often thought about changing it and seeing if that would change anything. You know,
Oh man,
like I've got merch made. Like, why change it?
yeah. I mean, we could always do a special episode of that sometime.
The Dexter themed episode where you just make a kill room and
Oh
it's like,
man.
this is how to make a kill room.
Well, okay, so the building I bought was an old recording studio for a news station. So my garage is soundproof, like it's dead proof. Someone's like, because I was talking about putting my compressor, and they're like, holy crap, Dexter, why do you have a soundproof garage? I'm like, it was here when I bought it. But yeah, no, I mean that also makes murdering easy. You know?
Much easier.
Joking,
Well,
there's no real murder going on here. Holy crap. Yeah, it's the internet. People are like, oh my god, I thought he was such a good streamer. Then he's killing people.
I mean, that's how you would break terms of service is you'd be like, I forgot that I forgot to turn off my cam.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. He put down his paintbrushes and just went and murdered someone. It's just like, I don't know where he got
Stabbed
them.
him in the temple with a
That's
paintbrush. That's size 3. Went
That's
right
a joke
through.
for the body painting on. That's a joke for body painting on Fridays. Whose body is it? Is it still living? It's like, it's mine. It's mine. I can't find any volunteers. So.
All right,
man.
buddy. Well, hey, we'll definitely catch up soon. Do you have any links or anything that you want to promote or?
Brushforhire everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. It's like I'm consistent every. People are like, how I'm brushforhire.com, all spelled out, no numbers.
Nice.
And they're like, how did you do that? It's like, I've been going by Brushforhire for like 18 years online. Like it's pretty easy when you grab it every time a forum pops up.
Perfect. Yeah. Like, you know, you're the first person on the internet. You don't add all those silly numbers. Well, right on, dude. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. Appreciate it.
100%, man. I appreciate being on here.